Hey, my name is Jobby, and we're taking a look at the Transformers masterpiece MP48 LIO Convoy, also known as Leo Prime in the West. And this guy is not a third-party figure, completely legal. Put down your weapon, officer. And you can get this guy at the Big Bad Toy Store. Oh. Now, are we really gonna pay that much for a character none of us care about? LIO Convoy is from a Japan-only series called Beast Wars II, a supposed sequel to my beloved Beast Wars. I haven't watched it, and you haven't either. Stop lying. Unless you were desperate to see what the fuss was about, and you went on some obscure fan sub website that didn't even have all the episodes. Okay, I may have lied a little bit. I've seen like 10 episodes of Beast Wars II, but I don't remember anything. I was a little surprised that Takara decided to go with this character as their next Beast Wars project. And I do remember someone on my Twitter feed, you! Horny. I didn't get a good impression of this figure from the promotional images. Why is that an official promo pic? And in person, yeah, the line mode is kind of a mess. Just on first glance alone, can I just say, Tribotopia. Looks like the skin on his chest has been teared off. Sorry, got Doom on the mind. Please don't watch my disaster of a stream on Jobby 2. I've taken a look at all Masterpiece Beast Wars figures so far, and the beast modes of those figures have been consistent with how they handle robot mode kibble. Beauty in the front, all business in the back. Unlike the other MP Beast Wars figures I've reviewed, this guy does not have a good side. The kibble is evenly distributed throughout the whole mode, but at least he has tits. Nice. But why am I making such a big fuss about beast mode kibble in the first place?
This is just a natural symptom of a robot turning into an animal.
It's because I know Takara can do better. Ooh, that thing looks nice. At least the overall silhouette of the figure looks fine. I mean, if you squint a little bit, it looks okay. And it ain't all bad. The painting and sculpting is well done, although there is absolutely no texture work put in here at all, which I'm okay with. It's supposed to be anime accurate. And that extends to the face sculpt, which is goofy as hell, but it's expressive and kind of charming in a weird way. Only real downside is he could barely open his mouth, but he does have a hinge joint at the top of his head, which that's obviously for the transformation. Let's shut him up. Other points of poseability include very slight swivel, can't look side to side, can't look up, but that leaves this gap wide open. Can't look down, kind of. Swivel here, a bend, an elbow, a paw pivot, and that can move down. Hinge joint, hinge joint, hinge joint at the tail, and his legs are the robot mode legs. Little bit of a spoiler there. We'll get into depth later. But I will mention this feature, the lion claw. Holy fucking goddamn shit. No good way to display this feature unless you plug him into a stand, which is included with the Masterpiece Black Arachnia. And I'm sure you can plug him into the Dinobot one too. And here's another feature. Shift back this top section. Be really careful about this tight little piece of pasta. Lift that up, turn it around, bring that down, and open this up to reveal some guns. That allows you to plug in these things, which the instructions call the Leo beam. Goofy as hell. Or you can plug in these things, open up these side main parts, and you can plug in two more. And these are the Leo missiles. Strangely enough, there seems to be sculpted in button detail, but no, these things do not launch. Thank God. I'd lose them in the second. Who knows where they'd end up. And you get a minifigure of a character from the show Artimus. Just kidding. They canceled that before release. Maybe Takara finally saw that minifigures are completely worthless and add an extra cost to the figure. And you get a card. Stats on the back. Powerful motherfucker. And size comparisons. Here's Masterpiece Optimus Primal, Masterpiece Cheetor, my previous review, the McFarlane's Toys Doomslayer, and an original copy of the Beast Wars II Galvatron. I don't have the original Leo Convoy, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how much you think that figure is shit. Now, some of you may have wanted me to really tear into this lion mode, but no, I don't hate it. I mean, it's still garbage, but it's my kind of garbage. And this being my last review of the month, I gotta give a shout out to all my patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for helping me afford figures of characters that I don't care about. Here's all your names during the transformation. First of all, punch his jaw in, pull back that crown, fold the top piece up, fold the side mains out, shift these parts. I was gonna allow you to fold these all the way back, but we're not doing that right now. Lift this whole assembly. You want to free this part from all this nonsense. Yeah. Spin that around, and spin the whole head main assembly around. I hope that part doesn't break, but I think he can take it. Lift that back up, fold the jaw back out, fold this part down, and have him bite down. kinky. We're gonna leave the head like that for now. Let's deal with his ass. Untab that, untab the back panel, twist that around, fold it in, and fold the butt back down. Fold in the tail, and we'll leave that as is for now. Let's rotate the legs. Bend it, fold up that knee pad, fold up the heel, swivel, swivel, and same thing for the other leg. Untab the belly, untab the arms. That allows you to swing them out. Fold that, rotate, swivel, collapse that, fold that, and swivel the wrist. Of course, same thing with the other arm. Extend these side panels, rotate them up, untab this red thing, spin it around, fold that down, and unfold the chest. Little word of warning, these clips here have the potential to break. I mean, I heard that from one guy on Twitter, but it's worth mentioning, right? This part here is attached to the lion head, and you want to swing that forward. That gives you clearance to fold up the robot head. Swivel that whole thing, and bring it down. Fold this top half up, get the lion belly panel in there, collapse these side pieces, work that ab crunch, hold down the chest, and that tabs in. Bring up the lion butt, rotate, fold it down, and position it as a shoulder pad. Fold the lion head down, and close up the mane like you would expect. As for the lion arms, swivel it, bend the elbow, fold the paw down, and the robot mode is amazing. This reminds me of how much I love the concept of LIO Convoy. You get Optimus Prime, put him in a fursuit, what's not to like? Wish I got the perfect effect Leonidas when I had the chance. Sorry, third party on the mic. If I actually gave an inkling of a shit about Beast Wars II, I would be creaming my pants right now. Spitting image of his animated model here. And I gotta point out that lion head conversion, that was so smart. And for some reason, the mechanical lion head can open his mouth wider than the normal one. This guy is animation accurate, but not to a fault. Can I say Roger Rabbit effect here? And here's a very rare occurrence when it comes to Takara figures. An impressively clean back. That shit look as clean as my merch. Pretty sure I used that exact segue before. As you'd expect, the painting is great. It's clean, it's smooth. But I think there are way too many painted parts on this figure. You may not have seen it during the transformation, but there is a lot of red and white flaky bits that go flying everywhere when you handle them. I know Takara desperately doesn't want to look cheap, but Transformers collectors don't mind bare plastic at all. At least I don't. I really don't want to be inhaling small specks of foreign material, especially during these times. Which reminds me, how's the quarantine treating you guys? Social distancing? No human contact? I got that shit on lock, boy. Please subscribe, it's gonna get lonely. At least the paint chipping has been minor so far, doesn't interfere with the overall fantastic appearance. But the only thing I don't love, lion arms. I swear to you, they don't transform more than that. At this point, I wouldn't have minded removable lion arms. Would that be parts forming? Maybe, but if you consider them as weapons, the lion claw feature looks kind of awkward because of this, but it don't look bad, especially when you get them into some poses. Ball joint at the head can look up and down. The ass pad's on a hinge joint, swivel, hinge joint, which allows it to get out of the way of shoulder articulation. The tail can extend, of course, which is a named feature in the instructions. Leo viewer? Leave a comment if you know what that's about. And the lion head articulation is the same as in the beast mode. And you can flip out the main parts, and that whole assembly can actually swivel. That's an attack called the Lion Typhoon. Missed opportunity for an actual spinning gimmick, but whatever. Butterfly joint, arm moves out, bicep swivel, bend at the elbow, wrist swivel, fingers can open, the index finger is separate, hinge joint at the thumb, and a hinge joint at the wrist. Holy Jesus, Mother Mary and Joseph, God fucking shit. His left tit can open, which reveals the matrix. Surprising amount of detail in here. Even has a little Maximal symbol. Unnecessary, but awesome. Waist swivel, ab crunch, rotation at the hips, moves back that far, a beautiful spread, thigh swivel, knee swivel, bend at the knee. The calf can open up to reveal leg nozzles. Looks a lot like Gundam style thrusters. Ankle swivel, hinge joint, and a toe pivot, which for all intents and purposes acts as an ankle pivot. This guy is super poseable, a lot of display options, and you can even bring back the Leo beam or Leo missiles. They work the exact same way as the beast mode. Or you can store the beam and missiles in this holder part, but it can't even hold all the missiles. Kind of pointless, actually. But the figure can hold it like this, and that's kind of cool, I guess. At least you get a proper gun, and it's pretty basic. Can't even plug the missiles in it. Missed opportunity. And for even more display options, you can peg the stand into his bungus. Those awkward-looking lion claws might be my favorite weapon, actually. I'm glad Takara didn't overdo it with the accessories here. There's just enough for some cool options, but not so much that it unfairly increases the price. Let's do some size comparisons. Here's Optimus Primal, Masterpiece Cheetor, Doom Guy, and Galvatron. This just makes me want a Masterpiece style Galvatron to go with LIO Convoy here. I love that design, but the figure itself left a lot to be desired. Unlike this guy, which gets, Takara, I've been a bit mean to you recently. This figure is proof that there's a reason why Takara is still in the game. They still make good shit. Especially when it's Masterpiece Beast Wars for some reason. With this guy and Tigatron coming out, I'm actually looking forward to future Masterpiece releases. Beast Wars or nah. Fuck you. Now before anyone brings it up, I know about the potential Beast Wars movie. I just don't care.